The following program is a paid presentation. The views and or opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the staff and management of KWAM. Welcome to the Variety Hour on AM 990, where local leaders talk Memphis.
Listen to you move your mouth. I bet you come from way down south. Now don't tell me, let me guess. You're from the town that I love best. Talk Memphis, I wish you would. Talk Memphis, you sound so good. Talk Memphis, high on the bluff. I swear I can't get enough. Listening to you talk that stuff. Talk Memphis, oh yeah. Talk Memphis.
This is Just Love Memphis, a program dedicated to highlighting all things good in Memphis. And now, here are your hosts, Jill Dyson and Sam Adams.
Good morning. It's January 28th, 2015, and it's time to Just Love Memphis right here on Great Radio AM 990.
KWAM.
And Jill, this morning I'm so excited because we get to talk about two of my favorite topics. One is piñatas and one is barbecue.
One is piñatas, two is barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Number two is piñatas.
But not
number
together? Are you talking about like piñatas and barbecue like together?
Well, we get to talk about both of these things. There's like A and B.
Well, those are great.
Piñatas and barbecue. I'm not talking about filling a piñata with barbecue sauce, but
okay.
We're talking about piñatas.
Although that could get very interesting. It's a great for kids' parties.
Yeah. Available next week at Party City on Poplar.
Well, this is going to be a great show, Sam.
It's going to be a great show. We've got some great guests.
We do.
And, of course, it's a great show because we're learning why people in Memphis love Memphis and why they love Memphis and how they're showing their love for Memphis. So
how they just love Memphis.
How they just I
know. I have to insert the title of our show because it's important. I love Memphis.
I get the concept, self-promote.
Here we
use
go.
the title of the show in the sentence. I get it. I
Marketing 101.
Marketing 101. I did not pass.
All right, let's go to our first guest because I'm super excited to have her here.
I am too. Our first guest is Miss Kingsbury, 1972.
Actually, yes, that is true.
That's very true. Miss Kingsbury, 1972.
Miss Kingsbury, 1972.
Lori Graves. Lori, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for letting me come.
We're very glad to have you. And now we are talking all things piñatas and barbecue today.
Yes.
And tell us why we're talking about piñatas today. First of all, let's go ahead and announce who you are with. You are with Multinational Ministries, and you will tell us now exactly what that is.
Well, okay, Multinational Ministries is an organization that's been around about 23 years, and it serves refugee and immigrants in Memphis. And so through that, it's just very cool because we get to meet people from around the world, families from 20 different countries, different languages and cultures. And so it's just a delightful sharing of knowledge and friendship, and so that's what we do.
Will you tell us when maybe many of our listeners might not even know that we actually have refugees in Memphis.
We have a lot
of refugees. Right. And what countries? You said over 20 countries. What are some of the countries of folks that take refuge in Memphis?
Well, about when Multinational Ministries began, it was almost all Southeast Asian. And almost Southeast Asian refugees from Vietnam, post-Vietnam War, and most of them were resettled here in Memphis, right there in Midtown, near Poplar and Cleveland. And so when Multinational Ministries began, it was mostly all Southeast Asian, Cambodian, Vietnamese, Laotian. And through the years, of course, it's become much, much more diverse. Today, we serve about 600 folks just in our area from, of course, still the Asian countries, but of course, Mexico, El Salvador, Honduras, Yemen, Iraq, India, many, many, many countries. And of course, it used to be that it was only in Midtown Memphis where there are refugees and immigrants, and now it's all over the city.
Okay, so we have broadened our...
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
Getting more and more diverse as the years go by, which is great. Okay, so one of our questions we always ask, first of all, you've been a native Memphian. You were born and raised here.
I was, yes.
Miss Kingsbury, 1972.
My claim to fame.
There you are. And we always ask, why do you just love Memphis? Why Memphis?
Well,
what kept you here all these years?
Well, first of all, my family and friends are here, and that just makes any place special.
Absolutely.
And I do think, especially working with Multinational Ministries, it makes me realize what a great diversity of people we have in the city. It's not just one homogeneous people. And I think Memphis is very good at trying to learn how to get along with each other. It's not something that we don't always get it right, but we face it. And I think Memphians are very intent on trying to see how we can get along with people of different races, beliefs, and religions.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that we work on it.
I think so, too. And I think I'm seeing even more and just in the past several years of an intentional effort to do so.
And I like that.
I do, too. Because I believe that relationships are what breaks the barriers of all of our differences.
Absolutely.
When you form a relationship, it's very difficult to have those hatreds or preconceived notions or whatever it is.
Right. When you love somebody, you love them.
That's absolutely right. When you just love
when
them.
you just love
See
them.
what I did there?
There you go.
Sam?
I
She
saw
got
it.
the name of the
I saw
just
it and I
love
heard
them.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so piñatas. Bring
Yes.
us to why we're talking about piñatas
Well,
today.
we're talking about piñatas, of course, because we're multinational ministries, and we like to do a lot of things that are very cultural and that highlight the different countries that our families are from. And one of our moms grew up making piñatas in her own country, and so we were going to have a piñata class to teach others how to make an original piñata.
That is super cool.
It
It's
is
family
really
friendly,
very cool.
right?
It is very family friendly. In fact, it's the kind of thing that I would love for a parent and child to come and do together, because when they come, you will learn how to make a piñata, but you will also be able to decorate and finish a piñata to take home as your very own.
Will we be filling the piñata?
You know, probably you'll have to bring your own candy for
well,
that one.
That's important to know.
Yes.
Because I like a filled piñata personally.
Yes.
Because it's exciting.
I
know,
gotcha.
what's inside.
Yeah.
Personally, that's what I like.
And so, but we have all the materials there, and so you will just be able to decorate your piñata, and with a teacher there showing you exactly how to do it the way she's done it.
And this serves as a fundraiser for
It is a
the
fundraiser.
organization.
It's a fundraiser for the organization, and it also we pay the mommy to do it, so that helps
supports her and her family.
It really does, and it's a great interactive time.
That's super
Since
fun.
the mommy doesn't speak English,
Right.
it's kind of a good cultural thing too, learning how to communicate when you don't have all the language skills.
I love it, and you don't have to be so crafty, right? I mean,
Oh
you
no!
can be kind of, you know.
I could bring my husband to this.
Oh yeah, and you know what?
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
And so you're saying he's not that crafty, but
he's
but you're gonna bring
crafty
him
in
anyway?
a different way.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are excited about that. I'm definitely
Yes.
considering bringing my children.
I would
to it.
love
think
it.
They would have a blast.
Great.
And folks, to find out, it's coming up in a month or so.
In about a month,
To get
right.
information, folks can go to multinationalministries.org.
Yes.
Or I guess you guys follow you guys on Facebook as well.
Facebook is multinational
to
ministries.
find out the information about this fundraiser and the
Right.
opportunity to come and hang out. Now, when I was a child, you did piñatas. Basically, you filled up a balloon and you basically did paper mache
That's
around the
basically
balloon,
still it.
and then you pop the balloon.
Yes.
and then you kind of carve out your hole for
Right.
inserting the.
But you can make all different kinds of shapes with it. It's not just the
Okay.
round one.
But can
Yeah.
you-
I see the typical like the donkey or the mule.
Yeah. So they're all kinds.
does the consistency of the barbecue sauce affect how?
No,
how
we put a like a
I think-
liner in there so the barbecue
so the-
sauce doesn't.
Okay, so the barbecue sauce will be able to.
Except when you hit it, it does splatter a touch.
It does splatter,
But that's
okay,
okay.
right.
It's just fun.
That's part of the fun.
That is one
Yes.
interesting kiddie party. I'm gonna
Yes,
tell you.
yes.
No, that's a grown-up party.
Yeah. Okay. That's right.
That's a grown-up party.
Well, we are very glad to have you here. We will be posting that as well on our Facebook page,
right.
Just Love Memphis on Facebook. And we also have a website. We'll post it there as well.
Right. And if anybody's interested, there
Yeah,
are
the
a lot
website.
of
Tell us about it.
well, and we have a lot of opportunities for folks to come and to read with a lot of the international kids and to help in a lot of different ways. And it's like you say, the thing about learning to get together is actually becoming friends with each other. And once you love a person from Mexico or Yemen, your thoughts change a little bit.
Right.
You know, you learn governments are governments, but people are people, and God loves people.
Yeah.
And so if you have a desire to come volunteer, please go to our website or Facebook page. We have a lot of different things that are very relational, very fun. And so I'd love
And that's
to
a great
have you.
way to just love Memphis. And
That-
we're going to
and
start
also-
announcing at
yes.
the end of our show
Yes.
how you can just love Memphis. You know, a lot of
It's a
people
great way.
want to and do and celebrate all the fun things that are kind of on the receiving end of all the great things of Memphis, but to give back. That's important.
Right. And, and it's a very reciprocal thing.
Yes, it is. It is.
It's not just us giving to
you
them.
You get so much out of
so
giving.
much to us that it's just a delight.
Awesome. Well, thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much for being here. Lori Graves from Multinational Ministries. And you can find out more information about them and about their activities and about how you can volunteer and get to know somebody from another country that is a refugee right here in Memphis, Tennessee by going to multinationalministries.org. We're coming right up on traffic and weather, and we'll be right back on Just Love Memphis on AM 990.
KWAM.
Join AM 990 KWAM on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/KWAM 990.
We're back on Just Love Memphis right here on Great Radio AM 990.
KWAM.
And so, Jill, we weren't talking about putting barbecue sauce in the piñata. It was separate.
Well, you were actually saying to put the barbecue sauce in the piñata, but I discourage that because I think it can get quite messy.
Quite messy.
Yeah, just my opinion.
And you don't like
maybe the meat, just the meat by itself. That would be a little bit better. And then just make sure you have your plates underneath the piñata for when it breaks open, and then you can have a nice barbecue party. That's my suggestion.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to work. So I think actually we're separating the two.
Okay.
We're going to try to separate the two. So we're under the concept of barbecue, and actually we're under the concept of
food,
much bigger than just barbecue. This is Memphis, and we love barbecue, but we're talking about food, and I guess we've got a chef right here in our midst.
I mean, one of my favorite chefs in America, and he is from Memphis, Tennessee, and he represented Memphis, Tennessee in the most positive, awesome way, showing his love for Memphis, but also for cooking and all things food. And it could not be more exciting for me to introduce our guest. I'm a huge fan. And in the studio live today, we have Logan from Master Chef Junior.
Thank you.
Logan, thank you so much. Logan, thank you so much for being here, bud.
Yes, thank you so much for having me here today.
Well, and I guess
complete with bow tie for those of you who are tuning in on our website or on KWAM's website. He's got his bow tie in true fashion for Logan. He wore that consistently throughout the show. And how did you learn to tie that thing, by the way?
Well, my mom goes to this South Carolina YouTube video. It's like, here's how to tie your perfect bow tie.
You learned from YouTube. I love it. That is how my kids learn pretty much everything. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Well, we are so glad to have you here. We have probably way more questions than this show time will allow, but we want to get straight into our very first question that we ask every guest.
And we've just cut me off. As I've got to catch up because just for protocol, do you prefer to be called Chef Logan or Master Chef Logan, or can we just call you Logan? I mean, we gotta
just Logan.
Just Logan.
Oh, he's a humble guy.
Because we don't.
I'd like the title personally.
Well, we don't want to.
Master Chef.
That's right. Junior. We want to make sure that we do it right. So we're going to go with Logan if that's all right with you.
Sounds great.
Okay, all right. Sounds
okay,
good.
Logan, okay. You got it. Okay, Logan, why do you just love Memphis? What about Memphis were you so excited to promote, like on Master Chef Junior?
Well, I've been born and raised here, and there's so much good food, good barbecue. All the local chefs in Memphis are very nice. They have all lent a really nice hand, from Kelly English to Ben Smith to Tim at Elwood Shack. They've all been very nice and just helped me along this wonderful journey.
That is so cool. Now, how old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
You're 12. That's what I thought. And you actually, where did the show take place? Where did you audition, first of all?
Well, Dad drove me all the way to Dallas.
Okay.
He loves reality TV, so he drove me all the way down there, and I auditioned. And I can't tell you that much about the auditioning process. All secrets. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I can't tell you much. And then they filmed it at Paramount LA.
A good chef never reveals all the details, right?
Only parts of it.
Yeah. Well, we got to see a lot of awesome stuff on the show. What was your favorite part of the filming and competition? Like, what was your favorite competition on the show?
Well, but besides from the confetti falling in the finale, that
rocked.
That rocked.
Kind of like a giant piñata coming out from the sea. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. But the pop-up restaurant, actually, that was a very, very fun thing because we were actually getting the Gordon Ramsay experience because you're in the thick of it with him, and that's really what I was looking for.
Yeah, I think you kind of rose to the occasion on that particular episode. That was really, really, really awesome.
Thank you.
We were proud. We watch your show. We watch the show every year, and right now we're currently watching the 3rd season. And what's your take on this season right now? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I really like all the food that they've cooked. I love to eat sausage. I love pasta. I love sushi.
Yes, that was the episode last night.
Yep, I love sushi. A lot of the food that they make.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite food?
Favorite food of all time.
Of all time.
I'm from Memphis, so barbecue's got a place in the 1 or 2 or 3.
Okay.
So
right.
so that's in
Fair
there
enough.
somewhere. I really like sushi. I like the sashimi or the nigiri.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I really think that the fish with the rice. Why do I really need the rice? Who really needs rice when you could just have fish?
Yeah, it is kind of a filler.
It is.
It's kind of a waste of time.
Yeah.
Just get right down to the
fish,
the protein, the fish, the omega. Yeah.
It's part of the presentation.
It's the experience.
It's part of the presentation.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I love.
So we know now. Avoid the rice and.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who needs the rice? Well, now Logan. So many times people are on these reality shows, and that's kind of their 15 minutes of fame. That's their entire. That's how people will know them forever and ever. And the truth is, you're so much more than a 15-minute reality star. You've been how long you've got a blog that you've been writing.
Yes.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that blog for 4 years.
For 4 years.
That's awesome.
3, 4, around there. It loses track eventually. It's orderupwithlogan@blogspot.com. I've got about 90,000 page views.
Woo!
Yep.
So I've got a lot of page views on that. And
Just a few more than we have on our
Just a couple
page.
more. So you've been blogging for 4 years.
Yes.
You started. I think I heard that you started cooking and stuff. I mean, at a very young age.
Yes, around 2.
Around 2.
Yeah, I started
2 years old.
I started with making coffee and then pigs in a blanket and then deviled eggs, and then to helping her out at dinner.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is really part of your life. This isn't I want to go and try out for this show and you didn't get cooking is part of who Logan is.
Yes, definitely. I did the Jif Most Creative Peanut Butter Sandwich contest when I was 8. I did that, and then I made my own spice rub, Logan's Rub Fiesta blend. And
wow.
I made that also when I was 8, and then I went to meet the president when I was 10 at the White House, and I got a free trip to D.C., and I got to eat at the White House in the first ever Kids State Dinner, and I got to meet the president and the First Lady, and then I auditioned for MasterChef Junior. Oh, wait, I missed a step. Missed the barbecue judge. I'm a certified Memphis and May barbecue judge.
Which is awesome, and we're going to come back to that, but keep going. And then you made it on MasterChef Junior.
And then I made it on MasterChef Junior.
Which is the top, the best cooks. I'm going to be bold enough and say that the kids' season is 10 times better than the adult season. Y'all are so fascinating. Your creativity is just through the roof. You don't have fear that holds you back from taking risks, and you have just such an intelligent palette, I guess is the best way to say it. I mean, it really is. It's so distinguished, and they just take risks, and they blow me away. Some of the stuff I didn't even get. I was like, what are they doing right now? They're making such elaborate dishes, and you did a lot of that. Your finale was my favorite. It was not only delicious looking, but it was like a show. You were putting on a show for the audience that was watching from the balcony and for all the viewers at home. What was your favorite part of the finale?
Oh, well, the confetti falling was very, very up there. But if I could choose something beside that, I think I'd be using the smoking gun or the liquid nitrogen. Yeah,
you were totally showing off, dude. You had all these tricks up your sleeves. You had tell them about the smoking gun.
So,
for those of us who really are,
The Polyscience makes the smoking gun, and it's this really amazing tool that lets you cold smoke aiolis and stuff that you couldn't smoke in a regular smoker. So you couldn't smoke a mayonnaise or lemonade in a regular smoker. So now you can do that with the smoking gun by Polyscience. Great tool. I love it.
So it basically infuses a smoky flavor?
Yes, in 3 minutes.
In 3 minutes?
Yes.
Boom. Bam. You going to have any catchphrases?
No.
Maybe we can help you and create one. It'll be Logan's
He just
catchphrase.
wins in visits with the president. He doesn't need a catchphrase.
Maybe it could be Quam, like KWAM.
Yeah,
Quam!
That could be it.
All right, that just happened.
So Logan, tell us about, some of your, I guess, cooking inspirations. Obviously,
yes.
It started out cooking at a very young age, so your parents were a big part of that. Do your parents cook? Are they chefs at a restaurant? Do your grandparents?
No.
How'd you get started in cooking?
Dad burns the instant lemonade, the Kool-Aid. He burns it every time. and Mama cooks dinner
without the smoking gun, right?
Yeah, probably not. He tries to turn on the grill sometimes.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Lots of love. I hear.
Yeah. And Mom just cooks dinner. Nobody else in the family really cooks anywhere fancy.
So you're just like this little prodigy that grew up in a home that was just probably, an average, typical cooking home. And but I bet you had a lot of influences with watching her. Somehow you were just drawn to the whole process of cooking. And
well, it's not really about cooking dinner for me. It's about creating in a way. Is that you create all these different spice blends and different sauces and different marinades and different things to do. And that's really where the joy of cooking comes into me. Part of it's watching the people eat your food and going, nom, nom, nom. Oh, this is good.
Nom, nom, nom. I like that.
But the other part is the creative experimentation aspect of it that I really love a lot.
Gosh, you're like a food artist. You really are.
Well,
that is
it's definitely
cool.
that combination between science and art.
Food is definitely that, because there are different kinds of food. Like there's classic French cooking, and then there's molecular gastronomy, and that's much more scientific, where you have to add this much agar-agar with this much sodium alginate, and then you have to do all these steps, and then you get this spherified thing that can pop. And I have a kit for that. And then there's the more artistful chili making and barbecue making and that kind of down-home stuff.
So Gosh, you're smart.
Well, we're coming right up on a break. And we need to go to break because I need to Google what you just said.
I know, exactly. I'm like, we need a translator.
I need to
Layman's
go
terms.
to
Come on, Logan.
Google Translate and try to maybe go to college here during the break also and try to figure out exactly what you just said. Maybe you can kind of unpack that here in a minute and explain that. But we're going right over to the Osgood file. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Logan's favorite barbecue right here in Memphis.
You don't want to miss it.
You don't want to miss it right here on AM 990.
KWAM. Quam!
If it matters to Memphis, you'll hear all about it on AM 990 KWAM.
We're back on Just Love Memphis right here on Great Radio, AM 990.
KWAM.
And we're hanging out in studio with Master Chef Logan. Well, this is Sam Adams, and I've actually been given permission just to call him Logan, Jill. So
yes, yes.
So,
he prefers that.
He prefers Logan. So we're here
in humble guy.
We're here in studio with Logan, the winner of Season 2's episode of Master Chef, and we were
Master Chef Junior.
Master Chef. Well,
that's an important decipher.
He's a Master Chef for me. I'm not.
Yeah, he is.
So, we were talking before the break about. Kind of answer that question of what do you love about Memphis and those things, and we want to talk really find out how you love Memphis, or what are the things that you do to show your love for Memphis, Tennessee, right here where you were born and raised.
Well, I work a lot in the soup kitchens, and I do a bunch of room in the ends at Trinity, a United Methodist, and I do a lot of community service. I plant birdhouses in Overton Park. I constructed a free little library for Overton Park too. I also have a free little library outside my house. Dad and I, we made it.
Nice. Okay, you're making us look bad, Logan. You are awesome. Okay, keep going.
And I'm born and raised here, so I kind of have to love Memphis. I go to all the Grizzlies games.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Or most of them.
Awesome. Okay.
Whenever you're not visiting the president or traveling around the
exactly.
world. Right.
Or hanging out with Gordon Ramsay, That's pretty cool. All right. Question.
Yeah.
First of all, let's tell the viewers what we had talked about during the break. I had, given you a friendly suggestion. If you wanted to have a catchphrase, you could maybe go with QUAM, which is KWAM, our call letters here.
All right. So I thought about it, and I thought, what is QUAM? Mm-hmm. QUAM is really a mix of quail and clams.
QUAM, yes. Quail and clams. Do you think those two would go together in a nice dish? I bet you could make that work.
Maybe if you stuff the quail with the clams.
Oh, look at you.
Then you might be getting somewhere, but I'm not too sure.
What kind of sauce would you put on that that clam stuffed quail?
Maybe a white cream sauce.
Okay.
Maybe a bechamel.
Like, he's serious. Like, my mouth is watering a little bit. Maybe you should try it out. Our big sponsors of the show is Napa Cafe. Maybe they'll let you go into their kitchen and try that quam dish. And we'll call it quam.
That's right.
I might have to bring it here
on a Friday night.
That's right.
That is absolutely awesome.
If Logan's making it, I'll try it.
That's right. I would try anything that you made. I will even try the quam. So, okay, back to our question.
So then the other question I have is, before the break, I acknowledged that I had no idea the word that you used. And by the way, you're 12, and
yes.
And I'm not 12. So, tell us about that. What that word means. You educated me in the
molecular.
break. It's a molecular. What's the second word?
Gastronomy. Gastronomy is really the study of food. And so when I took a gastronomy MOG, and I learned a few things, is that smell and taste are really, really intertwined, and that if you take away your smell, then stuff like...
And you cannot taste your food.
I get it.
Then you're really not going to taste stuff like strawberries,
right.
And that you really won't get much flavor.
Very, very cool. I bet you have a very distinguished olfactory bulb. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Do I know something more than you?
Not usually. Sometimes in the wintertime I get a cold.
Yeah.
and then I'm stuck eating chicken soup.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, I think a distinguished palate really is a good trademark or quality for a chef to have, don't you think? Because you've got to constantly taste. Ramsey's always saying, taste your food as you go, so you don't end up with something too bland or too salty.
Well, the problem with that for me is that after the sixth taste, I just start going, needs more of this, needs more of that,
so
needs more of this.
So you last minute cram for the...
If I try it over 6 times, it's going to go off the deep end of the sour or the salty or the bitter.
Gotcha. Oh, that's good advice. So you kind of wait to the end to put all that flavor in.
Well, if I try it too much, it's just...
You're going to overdo it.
Something's going to be going off the deep end.
That's exactly right. So
Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah.
When you are seasoning your food, do you wait to the end as well?
Yeah, because I season my food all the time.
You actually bring salt and pepper at the table.
No.
You eat out a lot.
I eat out way too much.
Speaking of eating out, let's talk about barbecue right now. I love that one way you are just loving Memphis is that you had to actually take a class for this too. You are a certified
Memphis and Mary barbecue judge.
That is
so.
I know, isn't that fabulous? I know. So he had to go through a 7 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon class, and it took all day. And he was it was was it boring?
Well, you had to sit in the chair, and there were only like 3 restroom breaks, and
that's just cruel.
And you had to sit there.
Did you get to eat lunch?
No.
Oh, no barbecue. Oh, yeah.
They didn't give us any of the barbecue.
Mom says you did.
They didn't give us any of the really good barbecue that they brought in.
Oh, gotcha.
They brought in the really good barbecue, but they were like, oh, yeah, only one person gets to eat some of the good barbecue. And we're just like, why?
That's so cruel. I mean, it's just cruel. Okay, so you at the very end of the day, you take a written test.
A written test, yes.
And you passed, and you are a certified barbecue Memphis and May judge. Yep. And so you'll be out there this May.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Because the judging tent was 21 and over.
Oh.
So I've been certified for a year now. And last May, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. So we'll see what this year brings. Well, we hope to see you out there judging some barbecue.
Well, and we don't want to put your judging certification in jeopardy, but we would love to know, in Memphis, because you're certified to judge it, and you eat out and you eat barbecue. Who would you say has the best pulled pork sandwich, and who would you say has the best ribs in Memphis? And
he also has a vote for brisket as well.
Brisket.
We were talking earlier.
Well, it's very hard to find any good brisket in Memphis. Let's just start off with that one, because we're all pork barbecue. There, you come up to the average Memphian and you say, "Well, what's brisket?" They'd be like, "What's this stuff called brisket?"
It's a mixture between
It's like a corned beef. Yeah, and so Elwood Shack makes brisket. They make this brisket wrap, and it comes with this horseradish sauce. It was one of the first things I ever got there. That and the fish tacos, and ever since been going back.
That's your brisket place.
That's my brisket.
Elwood. Okay.
Elwood Shack, right in the Lowe's parking lot.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. And
okay.
The pulled pork, I think I'm gonna have to go with
Central Barbecue.
Pulled
pork. Even though
you sometimes get that little bit of mystery stuff, and you're like,
mystery meat.
Is this really okay for me to eat?
Maybe a little tough.
And that's one of the
bristly.
reasons I love their pulled pork is because I get that little something extra.
It's kind of like a box of chocolates. You just never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's right, Forrest. That's exactly right.
Yep.
So when you're thinking of ribs.
Well, there are several rib places. It really depends on how you like your ribs. Because if you like them glazed, there's a Pig on Veal. That place has these really weird glazed ribs. They're pretty good. Then again, I really like Elwood's ribs. They're kind of different in a way.
Elwood's getting a lot of stars today.
I
think I might know where I would like to go to lunch.
That's right. And you've done work with Tim.
Yeah. I'm good friends with Tim, the owner of Elwood Shack.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Where can we find you as Memphians? Like, where do you go? Are you involved in any restaurants where you actually get to cook with them and all that stuff? I know that you had some training with
Chef Ben Tsunami.
Yes.
Chef Ben
Tsunami.
He's a very nice, very, very nice guy. All the chefs here in Memphis are very nice. They really will help you out.
Yeah.
And
They are very generous in their helping. They're we have such a great entrepreneur spirit here in Memphis. So innovative in that way. And they are actually, you would think sometimes they want to, hide what is theirs and not give it away because they're afraid of losing that, but or diluting their business. But that's not what's happening. And the results are even better for them in the long run because it brings, such a really cool shared,
but
we're all for
one
the same
of the
cause.
things is that most chefs would be like, well, we're not going to tell you all of the recipe, but if they are willing to tell you their entire recipe, then they know that you can't replicate what they've got, and that even if you do have all the recipes, you can. They still got it.
Yeah. They still own that. They've made it what it is, and
except for seasonings.
Yeah, right.
That's the one thing. Is that the funniest thing is when you read a seasoning and it says, all right, so here's it's got a onion powder, the garlic powder, that's got spices and salt. So you're just like,
what spices?
Spices?
It's a mystery. Well, like I said, a good chef does not share all the details. So that's what makes them unique. And I'm sure you're probably the same way with a lot of your stuff. And if it's true, that you wait to season at the very end, it's probably different each time, maybe.
Well, maybe a little bit. But if I come up with a seasoning on one of my creative days, then I write it down and I keep it forever. And then if I make it again and it comes out delicious, I'm like, all right, so I do have creative days where I do just go and create a bunch of stuff. And then I also have days where I take all my stuff and I make it again, and I go and take it to like the neighbors, to grandma.
You share your food. That is awesome. Well, I wish I was your neighbor.
well, I gotta have taste testers.
You do.
Are you looking for new neighbors?
That's
the question.
Any houses next door for sale that we should?
Or maybe there's a mobile car house in the parking lot that just shows up every once in a while around dinner time.
What's your ultimate dream? What is your goal? What do you want to do?
What's
Logan?
Next?
Well, I'd like to have my own cooking show. That'd be really cool.
I'd tune in every day. Go ahead.
And I'm working on that with my YouTube channel. I've got that going.
Nice.
Let's see. I've got to keep continuing my blog. The blog's really cool. You wonder. All right. So here's a funny blog story that I have. Is so there was like there was U.S. on the top the countries that gave me page views, and then it was like Ukraine, Moldova, and someplace else.
Wow.
I don't know where. Maybe Australia. I think that was on there once. And then MasterChef Junior came out. And then at the end, I looked at it and it was like United States, and then it was like Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, and at the very end it was Ukraine. And I'm just like, poor Ukraine.
They got bumped from the 2 spot.
Oh man,
they got bumped from the number 1 spot.
Bumped from the number 1 spot. That's right.
Yeah, number 2.
Yeah.
Because I kind of think, if I would think that Canada would be one of the biggest, because if you're in Canada or Mexico, you would actually have a chance to actually come to Memphis.
That's right.
but if you're in Moldova, it's like...
Yeah, it's a little harder to navigate to get here.
They're hopeful in Moldova.
But what's cool is that you are actually spreading a lot of the Memphis spirit to all of those places now as the MasterChef Junior winner in the second season, which is such an impressive honor. And the show was fabulous. It was so much fun to tune in.
Absolutely.
So are you going to stay in Memphis with your...
Of course.
Yay!
Dad would never leave.
Yeah.
Dad would stay here forever. The only time that I might be able to leave is for college. That's about it.
All right, we'll allow you. But we'd prefer you to stay, but we'll let you have 4 years to, get her done and then come back here and open a fabulous restaurant, which we will all patron regularly. Correct?
Absolutely.
Oh, I want to eat at Logan's right now.
That's right.
Logan's, not to be confused with Logan's, steakhouse or roadhouse.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember going there one time, and it's like, oh yeah, let's go to Logan's.
Now, where so you've been to Logan's?
Yes.
What would you name your restaurant since that one's taken?
I would have to name it O's Underwater Bistro.
Oh, say it again.
O's Underwater Bistro.
O's, like the letter O.
Oh, yes.
Okay, now what has inspired that name?
It's a nickname that my mom gave me.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, where did that come from? Is there a story behind that?
Don't have one.
Okay.
My friend tried to call me that once.
Yeah.
It didn't go over well.
Oh, okay. So O's Underwater Bistro. So you plan on serving fish?
So it would be underwater, so you'd have all the fish swimming by.
That's right.
It would be very nice, and then there would be this little submarine bay, and the submarines would go off and do their own thing.
Wow.
Yep, and then they would come back once you're done eating.
That is super cool. What would you serve?
Fish, everything, burgers, barbecue.
I heard something interesting earlier this morning. You were telling me that your mother is actually allergic to fish and shellfish and all things fish.
Seafood.
Yeah, that would be fish, I guess.
Not some of the ocean
broader,
fish.
Yeah.
Okay, so she can...
So she can eat some of the ocean fish, some of the clams, some of the mussels. No oysters, but no high iodine. So it's fish in the springtime. No ocean fish.
Wow. So you can't really even bring that stuff home to cook because it would be very dangerous for her. So you found a cool alternative to learning. Prior to your going on MasterChef Junior, you needed an extra training in the fish preparation and cooking, and so you were able to get training locally from. Tell us about that experience.
Chef Ben at Tsunami got me into the kitchen. Like I said, all the Memphis chefs here, very helpful. Tim from Elwood Shack helped me a lot. Everybody here helps me. It's just great to have all these Memphis chefs.
That is so cool. I'm actually talking about it in the fourth segment, just all the cool chefs here in Memphis who helped Logan, but also are making a positive difference in Memphis with their food. And you are certainly no exception to that. That is, you are...
Just amazing. Logan, thank you so much for being here. We're coming right up on traffic and weather, but thank you for being here. Logan... MasterChef Logan, winner of MasterChef Junior Season 2 and future proprietor of O's Underwater Bistro.
In Memphis, Tennessee. But let him graduate college
from college and actually get to high school and college first. But thank you so much for being here, Logan.
Yes, and, thank you.
We'll be right back after traffic and weather on Just Love Memphis on AM 990.
KWAM.
Join AM 990 KWAM on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/KWAM 990.
And we're back on Just Love Memphis right here on an amazing Wednesday morning. Right here on Just Love Memphis on Great Radio AM 990
KWAM.
And Jill, what? I don't even know where we go from there.
I know. How do we follow that?
Well, as Art looked over at me and he's like, "I'm gonna have some kind of guilt issues next time I hit next time he touches his microwave, he's going to feel bad. Feels like, I
do feel totally inadequate right
now. He's 12 years old. I don't even know half the words he's using. I'm like, he's talking about spices and herbs, and I'm like, well, I just
feel downright ignorant right now.
Yeah, I just want to go.
Salt.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I used to pretend that I wanted to one day grow up to be a foodie.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
You're just done.
I'm not a foodie. I'm not.
He was such a great guest, too. We have already gotten a lot of good response just from listening to him. He's got such a sweet spirit and very fun.
Just fun
guy. How cool is it that Memphis has got this guy?
Yeah.
So proud.
And rocking the bow tie, I love it. I mean, rock wearing the bow tie.
Well, he wore it consistently throughout the show.
Yeah,
it was just precious.
That is awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And he's got an Instagram and Facebook page we'll tell you all about in just a minute because we really want y'all to follow this guy. It's so fun. And they are constantly posting cool things about what he's doing, and you can really follow his amazing journey. So that's very exciting.
And I've got a feeling, and I've had a little bit of experience with these reality shows on The Voice and stuff. Mm-hmm. The reality is he wasn't some kid that wanted to grow up and be a chef. This kid's a chef.
Yeah.
And just happened to stumble. His path just happened across this show.
Yeah,
and
to give him some good exposure. But he was already doing it.
He's been writing a food blog for 4 years.
What in the world?
Okay, he won the Jif Creative Peanut Butter Sandwich Contest when he was 8. Okay, I mean,
that's amazing.
So Master Chef Junior, you're welcome.
Yeah.
On behalf of the city of Memphis,
you're
welcome.
Right.
Because he didn't find you. You guys found him.
Amen.
That's exactly
Sam.
what happened.
That might be the smartest thing you've said all day.
Well, the day's early. Maybe the smartest thing I've said all year.
All right, let's not get ahead of yourself. Let's just move on to the next segment.
That's right. So, Judge, you've got a couple of tidbits.
Yes, this week, actually, born January 31st, 1981, is drum roll. Justin Randall Timberlake. It's his birthday this week.
Is he an actor?
He's an American singer-songwriter and actor.
Oh, he's a songwriter. Okay.
Yep, born Memphis, Tennessee. He was on Star Search when he was younger, and also the all-new Mickey Mouse Club as a child. Please do not repeat that. In the late 1990s. He rose to prominence as one of the 2 lead vocalists and youngest member of the boy band NSYNC, which eventually became one of the best-selling boy bands of all time. Now let's move. I have a couple more tidbits that have to do with food, since we were kind of celebrating food and piñatas today.
Food and piñatas.
All right, Julia Child celebrated her 82nd birthday at the Peabody, but she did it 6 months early. Jose Gutierrez, chef at Chez Philippe, was among 100 chefs invited to cook for her on the actual date. Gosh, 100 chefs for Julia.
Must have been hungry.
I know. How did she even, what do you do with that? In a recent article in the Commercial Appeal, Gutierrez said that at the dinner, he asked Child, "Do you remember me?" She said, "Yes, I think about you every time I lick a stamp." So he turned red, and finally he asked, "What do you mean by that?" And she said, "I'm talking about the Elvis stamps." So there you go. When it all comes down to people from all over the world remembering Memphis, they really think of Elvis quite often.
I think, unfortunately, that might be the only thing they remember, but there's so many more things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So much more good.
I don't know if you know anything about the James Beard Foundation, but they are a mission that celebrates and nurtures and honors American diversity in the culinary heritage. And they have programs that educate and inspire. They are actually a nonprofit based in New York City, but they have had many prominent chefs in Memphis that have cooked there, including Andrew Tyser, Michael Hudman, and they are with Andrew Michael Italian Kitchen, as well as Hog and Hominy in East Memphis. Fabulous both. Ryan Trim from Sweetgrass, another chef who has cooked at the James Beard House, includes Jonathan from Las Tortugas, who's a friend of mine, Deli Mexicana, and fabulous restaurant. Miles McCath from St. Jude's Research Hospital, Patrick Riley from the Majestic Grill, and finally Felicia Suzanne from Felicia Suzanne's. Pretty cool.
We just have so much good food. I had Majestic yesterday.
And now we have Logan.
Much good food. And I'm looking forward to this restaurant.
Yep.
Logan's new restaurant. So,
we might have to wait a little while.
He's
young.
We might have to wait a little while. But you know what? It's time to remember something. You know what that is we have to remember?
What are we remembering?
That Shelby County Schools
rock. Shelby County Schools rock.
That's right. And today we are putting a little spotlight on Whitehaven Elementary School. They're a STEM academy, which means they're focused on science, technology, engineering, and math. They have a number of key values. Well, I should say that Tommy Elliott is the principal, and he really instills some core values into the students, basically respecting themselves and others' responsibility. And my personal favorite, because even on their website, they really focus on results and the reality that if you don't have results in what you're doing, then no one is really going to be able to see how effective you are. So
no, I love it.
I love it. And as usual, a student cannot grow, a school cannot succeed and sustain itself without people to adopt it and give to that. They're being supported by Kroger Whitehaven, Middle Baptist Church, Whitehaven Lane, Boulevard Church of Christ, and Methodist Healthcare. And on their menu today, they've got Crispito with chili, and I still don't know what Crispito is. They've got lasagna. They've got chef salad with whole grain crackers. They've got whole grain kernel. They've got seasoned pinto beans, chilled peaches, assorted fresh fruit, and assorted milk. That is our Shelby County Schools Rock School of the Day, Whitehaven Elementary School.
And you know what?
Yep.
I'm going to quote Whitney Houston right now.
Oh.
I believe that children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. And that's my segue into how you can just love Memphis this week. And well, you see with Logan, he is totally the leader of the future.
Logan, you tell me where to go, I'll follow you.
Yes.
As long as you're feeding us at the
and
end.
He's from
man,
Memphis, and he's a child from Memphis. So
That's
you're
right.
just talking about Shelby County Schools
That's right.
and how people give back and really inspire these young kids. This is how you can just love Memphis this week. Get involved in Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Memphis. What they do, they provide academic, recreational, and mentoring programs for young people in need in Memphis. You can sponsor a child, scholarship a student, and take part in their annual Toy Bash. Another way, Bridges. What they do, they work to inspire diverse young people to become confident leaders through camps, programs like bridge builders, internships, team building programs, and education. How you can help. Financially donate or email Bridges to inquire about volunteer opportunities. Couple more things. Camp Good Times. They are a week-long sleepover summer camp at Shelby Forest. Kids and adults with mental disabilities who may not be able to attend a traditional summer camp can go here. How you can be involved, volunteer to be a camp counselor, a camp nurse, or make a financial donation. Last but not least, Child Advocacy Center. They provide services to some of the Memphis's most vulnerable victims of child abuse that help them recover from abuse and return to normal childhood. They provide counseling, prevention services, and advocates to children and families in need. You can make a financial contribution or volunteer there as well. Just some good ways to give back and get involved in our youth.
That is awesome.
Which is the future of Memphis.
Some great opportunities to get involved. We want to say thank you so much to Lori Graves. If you want to find out more information about Multinational Ministries, go to multinationalministries.org, and you can also follow them on Facebook. We also want to say thank you so much to Logan. Follow his blog. It's Order Up with Logan, ORDERUPWITHLOGAN.
It'll be on our Facebook page.
.blogspot.com, or he's on Instagram with Logan Jr. Chef on Instagram, Logan Jr. Chef on Twitter, Logan Jr. Chef on Facebook, and on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
you can watch all those old clips from him, I'm sure, there. And it's worth watching.
All these old clips. We had some great guests today. If you're listening today and you know somebody, or maybe you're that person that loves Memphis and would like to share that with the world, give us a message on Facebook. And you might be one of our next guests right here on Just Love Memphis on AM 990.
KWAM.
Have a great day. Quam.